We begin tonight with a weather impact alert. There is a lot of variety in this winter system arriving tomorrow, so depending on where you are, we're talking about chances for snow, ice, rain, and sleet. And so that means it could get risky out on the roads. Thanks for inviting us in. It's 11 o'clock, and Angela's about to tell us the forecast is all about location, location, location.
Yes, and we've got 4 separate locations just within the state of Indiana and several just within our viewing area. So it really does depend on where you are. If you are south of I-70, south of Indianapolis, this is mainly going to be a cold rain event. Indianapolis north, that rain will mix with sleet and freezing rain. We do expect higher accumulations of ice from Lafayette to Kokomo, Tipton to Marion, and then just north of there, Monticello, Delphi, Logansport over toward Peru, ice and snow accumulations. Those snow accumulations could amount to a couple of inches. We are under a winter weather advisory. You can see winter storm warnings and the winter storm itself taking shape out to our west. Winter weather advisory from tomorrow afternoon all the way through early Thursday morning. Thanks to this developing winter weather system, it arrives midday tomorrow with the heaviest falling tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. More on the timeline in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit, Angela. Thanks. There is so much to monitor over the next 24 hours, so make sure you've got our WTHR weather app to help you stay on top of this forecast. You can check the radar, our weather blog anytime. Go get it before you fall asleep. It's a free download. You'll find it in the App Store. A task force has been spending the last few months trying to figure out how to decrease or eliminate the number of pedestrian and cyclist traffic deaths here in Marion County. Tonight, our Logan Gay shares the progress they've made in Vision Zero. Logan?
The Vision Zero Task Force sat here for the second time since it was formed to update the community about the progress that's been made and to lay out the next steps going forward.
We're all tired of almost being killed on the roadways. We want people-focused streets, and we want safe streets.
Jacob Morales with the Bike Indianapolis Advocacy Committee is one of the many people who push for the creation of the Vision Zero Task Force after hundreds of accidents and dozens of deaths last year. It's a personal issue for Morales after he was hit twice while riding his bike last fall. It's a big reason he's excited to see the task force plan unfold.
I feel more heard. It seems that they've taken our concerns of transparency and timeliness into consideration. You know, we've seen how many people have died since this was first introduced, and people will continue to be hit and killed, every day. So there's a sense of urgency here.
So far, the task force has made progress on launching a public engagement effort, working on hiring a Vision Zero administrator, and analyzing data that will help the task force form an action plan. But Task Force Chair John Barth says this is a marathon, not a sprint. Because of Marion County's unique challenges, like the state's funding formula, one of the major roadblocks is funding.
We don't retain all the infrastructure dollars that we generate. In fact, other counties in Indiana get money from Marion County. So if we could retain all the money that we generated in taxes for infrastructure, we'd be in a different position.
Also on the task force is IMPD Chief Chris Bailey. He says even though they're still short-staffed, IMPD is prioritizing Vision Zero and road safety by adding 5 additional officers to their traffic unit.
This is an everyone problem, whether you're a driver or you're walking or you're pedaling to wherever you're going. We all have some responsibility to make sure we get from point A to point B safely.
Which for Morales means they're one small step closer to their goal.
We're moving in a positive direction. More needs to be done, and we need more funding to address these issues.
The task force plans to host multiple public meetings throughout the year, and they plan to report the progress to the City County Council each quarter and on their website. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Tonight, a man is now under arrest in connection to a nearly 40-year-old Indiana rape case. The 62-year-old suspect was taken into custody in Michigan. Police say DNA linked him to the crime. All of this started way back in October of 1986 in LaGrange County. Investigators tell us the suspect abducted a woman who then stopped to remove something from the road, then sexually assaulted her multiple times. Tomorrow, a jury will be back in court to decide if a man is guilty of killing his ex-girlfriend right outside a daycare. I want to show you video of Orlando Mitchell. This is from a previous hearing. Cameras are not allowed in court, but our Rich Nye was there as testimony wrapped up today. So the jury saw security video from the day of the shooting. It shows the victim, Crystal Walton, dropping off her kids. Now, as she returns to her car, police say you can see Mitchell ambush her before running away. The jury also saw some police body cam video showing Mitchell's arrest just a few hours later. Mitchell's attorneys presented no evidence in his defense. In fact, his attorneys argued that Mitchell acted in sudden heat and the shooting was not murder by definition. Mitchell is also facing a murder charge in the strangulation death of Deputy John Durham while Mitchell was in custody in July of 2023. An IMPD sergeant charged tonight with theft has now resigned from the police department. Sarah Lampkin is accused of stealing nearly $200 worth of merchandise from Target. According to police, she left the police force instead of going through the termination process. Lampkin was a 17-year veteran. Well, tonight there are growing concerns about what residents call a homeless crisis in the Garfield Park neighborhood. In the last few months, 13 News received several reports of fires, vandalism, drugs, even weapons. Neighbors have made repeated calls to city leaders, but they're telling us the problem there is only getting worse. So our Lauren Kostick went to city leaders to see what they're doing to help neighbors and those experiencing homelessness. We're told city agencies are aware of this problem and are meeting weekly to discuss more immediate solutions.
There's no one answer. We're not going to be able to arrest our way out of homelessness in the city of Indianapolis.
So, we really need the mayor and the city to step up on this.
The Garfield Park Neighborhood Association is also pushing tonight for solutions. The president said residents have compassion for those Hoosiers experiencing homelessness, but not for those displaying lawless behavior. You can read Lauren's full story right now. We've got it posted on WTHR.com. Over at the Indiana State House, lawmakers are considering a bill that would allow police to arrest people living on the streets or in encampments. This is House Bill 1662. So under this measure, if officers find a person staying or sleeping on the streets, the first time police would give them a warning and then offer to take the person to a shelter. However, if the person did not move within 24 hours, police could make an arrest. People who testified against this bill argue it criminalizes homelessness. Also at the State House, a bill to provide Hoosiers with property tax relief is now moving to the Senate floor. This issue is one of Governor Braun's top priorities, but there are concerns tonight from Democrats about the impact cutting taxes could have on public schools and local governments. Democratic Senator Fadi Kadora sent out a news release stating this bill now includes several provisions introduced by Senate Democrats the last few years. So those include a credit for first-time home buyers, increasing credit for senior citizens, and creating a tax payment option for lower-income households. Now, the governor's office sent a statement saying he'll carefully review the changes and work with lawmakers to strengthen the amended bill to include broad-based and immediate property tax cuts for Hoosier homeowners who have been hit the hardest by skyrocketing home value inflation. Tonight at 11, the Department of Education is asking the Indianapolis-based NCAA to erase records set by transgender athletes. Just last week, the NCAA changed its participation policy. So according to this organization, now only athletes assigned female at birth can take part in women's sports. That move came just one day after President Trump signed that executive order aimed at banning transgender athletes from competition. The Department of Education also sent out a letter requesting the changes to the National Federation of State High School Associations.